This is Lieutenant Skitters here to share one of my strangest, most bizarre cases. I call it the statue of a man. This is case number 205. First of all, let me say a little about the perpetrator. She was a big woman, I mean big, like 300 pounds. The abusive husband was half her size. That never stopped him from getting drunk and beating her and the kids. It was a big family, 7 kids, ranging from 2 years old to 14. It was the oldest kid, the 14-year-old, who ended up helping me solve the case. Alfonso Crematato was a taxi driver, and when not on duty, he drank. Hell, he probably drank while driving the taxi, but we never caught him. He did get a couple of public intoxicants and drunken disorderlies, but what drew the most attention to him was the domestic calls. Of course, the scared wife and kids would never talk to us. Well, one day he never showed up for work. Weeks passed. Nobody really missed him or cared. He wasn't exactly a popular guy. Anyway, at about this same time, an interesting statue, a man made of paper mache, was anonymously donated to the Murgatroyd Museum of Modern Art. After a few days, the artist Blatson, who was hosting an exhibit there, noticed a very strong, foul odor emanating from the statue, and the statue was oozing liquids. He mentioned this to the director of the museum, who said not to worry, arrangements had been made by a private collector to have it bronzed, and that it was leaving to go into the private collection of this wealthy, powerful individual. And so this took place. Well, about 2 years later, the widow of the missing taxi driver went to work at the home of the late Senator Quint. And it was with pride and satisfaction that she dusted and cleaned the shiny bronze statue which stood in the foyer of the palatial estate of Senator Quint. Then one day, she gets a little too proud, a little too cocky. She brings her 14-year-old son, Hector Crematato, to work with her. She shows him the statue and points at it and says, "That's your daddy." At that point, Hector came to me at the department and told me what his mom had said. I got the necessary warrant, and with the cooperation of Senator Quint, who didn't want or need the bad publicity a scandal of this type would have brought, I went out to the home with a forensic team, and we took the statue back to the crime lab. Sure enough, there was a body inside, a body identified by dental records and DNA as that of Alfonso Crematato. After kids and police, who had already taken the domestic calls, testified at the trial, the widow ended up getting 10 years probation from a sympathetic judge. And that's case 205 from the files of Lieutenant Skitters.